and welcome to In the Rising podcast. My name is Bettina Brown, and this is the platform I've chosen to talk to you about living your best life, basically in accordance with your hopes, your dreams, and the things you would like and that you're passionate about, and not staying in that shame-blame game that keeps you downtrodden, depressed, and kind of doing that comparison trick that we will do. Well, look, their life is this, their job is this, their income is that, but really looking and being where you are now and being content, yet still invigorated and excited about your future. So I like to start off by saying that I am not a licensed counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist, but I am a healthcare practitioner who's spent thousands of hours talking to people. And a lot of times when our health starts to fail, we have that moment when we will talk about what we hoped we had and what we still want because we have taken certain things like health for granted. So on the topic of health, I wanted to talk about that today and really evaluating and kind of putting some questions, not any judgment, but some questions out there regarding health in general, because we can want to, go hiking, but if we have very bad knees or really bad hips, bone on bone, as the term is, well, hiking is maybe not exactly what's going to be a pleasurable experience or something that we can do all that long. What about if we want to run a marathon, yet every day we come home and we just don't have the energy or the willpower or desire to even go for a walk around the block? What about doing things with our children or being more active? Well, what does that really look like? And what does that have to do with self-esteem and having a positive outlook? So I have recently been looking at health a lot more closely, and I've had health around me my entire professional life. I'm in the healthcare field, and looking at the difference between some people who keep being active and keep being excited about things to do. And then there are people that come in and really they are very well aware of every single doctor appointment they have for the next 2 weeks, with who and what time, because their life has now culminated into appointment after appointment. And there are definitely times when that just is the way it is. You have medical conditions that require that. But what is the difference? Is the person who has nothing but doctor's appointments coming up because they have one ailment after another really living their most fulfilled life? And the answer is always up to the person who's in those shoes. But what I wanted to talk about today were 3 things we can look at to evaluate and remain healthy so that we can do things. And the first and foremost is that it can be something very important, but there's no need, in my opinion, it's my podcast, so I'm going to give my opinion. There's no need to become obsessed about it. There is health. Health is wealth. That is a very famous quote. I don't remember by who, but I remember reading it many times. That you can have all the things in the world, but if you don't have the basic things, your health, you cannot truly enjoy them. But that does not mean we need to go to the other extreme and only focus on the importance of eating things without barely any taste to it, not enjoying food, not enjoying a good meal with a friend or a family. And that's really what family time is, or was, where you sat down and you ate, which was the basic thing, nutrition, but you had an opportunity to speak to your family. And the other thing that I want to talk about with obsession is that you can overdo it. There is a thing, what is it? What is that term? Everything in moderation, including moderation. So it is okay to have things that bring you joy, a small piece of cake. It's another thing to eat an entire piece of cake. And I think we are not quite, at least in the United States, really in that moderate area. We tend to be on one extreme or the other. But to be obsessed about health can be positive until it's negative. Relying and evaluating what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, because this is your vessel. This is fuel for your body, not now just, but in the future as well. but perseverating on it, and that there is nothing else takes away the joy of experiencing movement of your own body. Number 2 is more of a moderate point. Pay attention. Pay attention to your body. Don't neglect things. If you have issues in certain areas or concerns, or there's an area on your skin, you're like, is that a mole? Is that new? Get it checked out. A lot of us, myself included, can be afraid to find out a real answer. But when you're not finding out an answer, you can also very easily and readily catastrophize your situation. And in my own story is that for a long time, I sat on the tumor board at a local hospital, and I listened to cases of other women who had breast cancer, what they thought about their treatment plan. But the reality was, the same time I was sitting there, I was also experiencing some of those same symptoms. And I will tell you that I did not just get up and go to the doctor. I really had to push myself because of the same thing, because fear can also pull us away from an answer. And when we stay in that fear, we're also not getting very healthy. So not only is it not beneficial to obsess about it, we can also not avoid it, right? Especially as we get older, our health will change. Our hormones will change. It doesn't mean we're not healthy, but things happen. We don't lose weight the way we did. We don't sleep the way we did. We know sleep is very, very critical and important for our own healthy body and healthy psyche. Things just alter as we move along. And it is important to recognize both ends of that spectrum. But when we are healthy, we can take that moment to really just enjoy that experience for what it is. We don't know what the future holds, right? A lot of us say when it's your time for something, it's going to be your time. But what about if you get to enjoy those moments and you don't have the regrets of not enjoying that birthday cake with your child because, you had to only have so many calories. You get to actually learn to live and love your own body and accept what we put it through every day, which can be lack of sleep, lack of nutrition, and just kind of go. Even the stressors that we have, it culminates. And our bodies still, we want it to function and move on even through those circumstances. So where am I going with all of this? Well, this week alone, I've had kind of an outside experience of a couple of people that I know who are not what we call unhealthy, but have their own healthcare scares. And so having said that, it's a kind of a time when it stops you and it pinpoints you in that moment and you evaluate things. But it also makes you evaluate, what does health mean to you? Because I can be here blabbering on and on about what I believe, but what is that to you? Is that losing that extra 40 pounds? Is it losing that extra 50 pounds? Is it to actually gain 20 pounds? Not everyone has to lose. Or do you feel that you are really excited that you are maintaining what you've desired, the commitment you've put to? And so as I'm going through my own journey, I've started my own program with a nutritionist. You can't just talk it, you have to walk it, right? And working my own exercise program and realizing too that it is not that easy when you have a full schedule, which a lot of us do, between working and cleaning and being a parent, being a family member, being present for people in your life. It is hard. It is hard to continue to make those meals or continue to exercise. But at the end of the day, it's a commitment. It doesn't mean that you are, quote unquote, successful in your own mind every single day, because we can't predict every event every day. But it does mean that you stay back on that you don't deviate greatly. That there's this basic line. I always think of it like the heartbeat of your life, that it goes all the way up and it goes all the way down, but you keep going. There is that deviation left and right, but you know what? To be successful for your own life and future, having that wealth, that ultimate wealth, which is your health, is very important. And doing things for yourself to remain in that way is observed by those around you. And particularly those that love you, are excited for you, and are willing and wanting to go on that journey with you. Sometimes the greatest thing you can say are actually by the actions that you perform. So thank you all for listening. I'm so grateful for your time today because you know what? Our minutes are valuable. And I wish you all the best. And until next time, let's keep building one another up.